All right. Well, my name is Stanley Gene Mendiola III. I am lead rhythm guitar and vocals for Midnight Crow. We are a blues rock band, I would say.
Yeah.
We say we're from Milwaukee, but we're kind of surrounding Milwaukee. I'm from Menominee Falls. Jeremy, our bass player, is from Kenosha, originally from Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And Max is from, well, all over the place, honestly. But he currently resides in Hales Corners, which is kind of a suburb of Milwaukee near Franklin.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I know roughly that area. I do travel a fair bit down that way, right? So,
oh, cool, right on.
yeah.
I do
As we
not.
were, as we were talking, man, I'm gonna make that road trip thing. I think start happening. I've got quite a few people interested already, so you and I will definitely talk more about that for sure.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Got a lot of great places around here for wings and beer. So,
Yeah, man, I can't. Maybe I'll do a pub tour, the
Friday
pub
Fish
crawl
Fry.
across country, right?
Yeah,
Ooh.
make it happen.
So, you gotta tell us a little bit about the band, though. Like, I know a lot of people that, like, especially here, being from Ontario and shit, haven't heard you guys yet. So, give us some info.
Well, we're hoping to change that.
We're
We're a
working
three-piece.
on it here for you.
Yeah, we're doing that right now.
We're a
5 people
three-piece
are
group.
already watching you.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So we're a three-piece group. That was kind of my idea when we started the whole thing. I found inspiration from guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Philip Sayce, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, you name it.
Oh, B.B.
I've
King.
had
We were
some sort
talking
of
earlier about that, but you never mentioned B.B. King there.
Yeah, basically, if they play the blues guitar, they've influenced me one way or the other, whether it's their playing or something they said. And like I mentioned before, I didn't really start playing lead guitar stuff until about 3 years ago because I didn't think I could do it. And I finally had the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I talked to Max, who was the husband of one of my wife's friends who actually went to college together in La Crosse. And I had sat down and talked to him at a wedding or something. And I could have swore he didn't like me, just by his mannerisms and the way he was communicating with me.
Yeah, right.
And down the road, I was like, I want to start this band. I need a drummer. And I reached out to him, and it just so happened that the band that he was in at the time was dissolving. And he said, yeah, let's do it. So we struggled to find a bass player. So he offered to step in and play bass, which he did a phenomenal job of. And we had one of his friends come in and play drums. We rode that wave for probably about a year, played a few shows, wrote a bunch of original songs, had a really good time doing it. But then we wanted to take it to the next level. And I really wanted Max to be on the drums because that's where he's comfortable and that's where he really shines. Eventually we made that happen. We found a bass player. It was a young woman from Big Bend, Wisconsin. But unfortunately, through a series of unfortunate events in her life, she wasn't able to commit the time that we were kind of looking for to really push this thing a little bit further. And that brought in Jeremy. Jeremy and Max go way back as a rhythm section. They're super tight together. Man. Yeah, man. They're awesome together. And honestly, without them, my playing and my singing probably wouldn't sound half as good as it does. I'm probably like 1 out of 1,000 guitar players that will constantly say, I don't know. I don't really think I'm that good, And people are like, no, you're good, man. Trust me.
I'm in the same boat. My shit, I'm always like, yeah, it sucks ass. Right.
But I think it's because I always have that goal that's unobtainable that I'm reaching for, trying to get to. So I never feel truly satisfied. I think that was like a Jeff Beckism type thing. But anyway, that brings us to now. We've been together in this formation for, I want to say 3 months. And once we brought Jeremy in, it really changed the entire kind of attitude of the band.
Yeah.
It changed the attitude of the band, and that's why we ended up changing the name. Originally, we were Stanley Gene and the Insatiables, which is a very, kind of 50s, 60s blues band name. But I didn't want so much focus to be on my name, on me. I want it to be the band. And that's why every bass player that we've had, I'm like, turn it up. I want people to hear the bass. And Max, he plays the drums. I was like, play whatever you feel. There's no rules to this. Like, sure, I may be playing and that's what people are hearing, but you got a metal beat behind that and you got a bass line that's going all over the place. It morphs into a completely different sound. And
it does. It's very unique, man. Like, I was checking what I could find earlier and stuff, right? And then it was like, well, obviously I reached out to you guys personally, did I not? I'm pretty sure I was like, hey, man, I found you guys. What do you want? Why don't you come on the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's relaxed. We have a couple beers, we jammed to some songs, booking shows, staying busy, and it's really. There's never been a time where it's like, hey, you play this, or hey, don't do that, or hey, do this. We're all just kind of know our place and we make it happen. Yeah. And is it going to be like that forever? I don't know, but I sure hope so, because it makes it super easy to go to band practice. And there was a time where I felt like I was working super hard, and I know I was, because I felt like I got to stay in time and I got to do this and I got to do that. But Max behind the drums and Jeremy on the bass, it's really, really something special, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be... Oh, the dog just opened the door. Hold on.
That's a smart dog.
We're really put together today,
Hey, I want a dog so bad.
I have 3 cats. And,
where I just moved into, this dog just loves me, man. It sleeps with me and shit already. It didn't even bark at me when I walked in the door. It sat and looked at me as I come in, and he just sat down and just petted him,
All right. You must be all right then.
Yeah, right.
Right on. Yeah, when TJ walks in my door, I have 3 cats, and one of them's 20, so she doesn't bother with anybody. One of them's 17. He's the only male in our house, and the other one's 4. And all 3 of them went to TJ, like, you know what I mean? Like, they've known him forever. And the 2 older ones, they don't bother with anybody. They do not give a shit about anybody that walks in the door. And TJ walks in, and it's like a lost friend or something.
Yeah, like, hey, I haven't seen you.
It's like Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
Yeah. Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
National Geographic is what I should have done, right? Have lions be petting them and tigers all beside me and shit. Fuck him.
Well, you're constantly on the move, so I don't think it'd be an inappropriate career for you.
No, right. So you were saying where you guys are, the bars are like opening up. You guys are doing shows, and like there's shows and stuff going on. Or?
Yeah. There's so kind of southeast of where we are, there's quite a few. They're bars, but they're actually music venues.
Yeah.
And they're booked solid on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week, until of course something happens and they say, oh no, you can't do that. But there's even local bars here having live music. It's not everywhere, but it's starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what is capacity like? Are they open at full capacity?
It seems that way. I haven't gone to any shows, with work and 2 kids.
Yep, I get it.
I try to support where I can, but from what I can tell,
this is why we podcast.
Yeah, from what I can tell, seeing pictures from my friends' bands and the promoters posting, they're pretty full. They're pretty full.
Well, let's hope it spills over here, man, because we're all sitting on the edge of our seat just waiting, waiting. And we're like allowed 10 people in a restaurant at a time, and it's you have to write down your name, address, born kid's name, and it's ridiculous.
Just your phone number and your fucking name, but it's kind of weird to sign in.
It's
totally
invasive. It's invasive.
Oh yeah, it's
I'll be broadcasting from there on our breakfast show on Sunday from a restaurant that's allowing me to fucking broadcast out of their restaurant in the morning. They're gonna hook me up with breakfast beers in the BoneYard.
Well, hopefully they'll hook you up with breakfast since you're broadcasting from there, and you're gonna wave them name all over the
It
place
don't
on Sunday,
matter.
right?
I'm gonna fucking eat their food regardless. It is
Yeah, I know.
delicious. So
I know.
I support
I know.
local,
There's
right?
so many restaurants around here I'm like that with.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, okay, this is like an odd question that has nothing to do with music. What's your favorite restaurant?
I'm gonna wipe my camera.
Oh, favorite restaurant ever
Yeah.
or right now?
Well, whatever. Like, I mean, your favorite place to eat. You can have both.
Right now, it's a place called the Alumni Club. It's a bar
Okay.
right down the street from my house.
Yeah.
But since I started doing that diet and stuff that we were talking about, once a week I cheat and I have wings. You know, it's low carb, and they make the best wings.
Yep.
They have the best sauces, and I just go to town on wings. I love wings. You know.
Me too.
But other than that, probably like Hardee's or Carl's Jr. Brings back a lot of memories of my childhood. You know, my grandma would take me there. We played in the ball pit. Hope there's no heroin needles in there. That didn't happen when I was a kid.
What? You were in...
No, it didn't happen when I was a kid. But when I was like a teenager, I heard about that happening. And what is happening? What's going on? It's Hardee's.
Yeah.
The ball pit of all places.
And fuck now with the internet, man, you can't even believe half the shit you hear anymore, you know.
No,
like,
you have to read it 2 or 3 times. Like,
oh yeah, like
yep,
what?
I read it right.
No.
I can
I know. I remember that brief, simple time when there was no such thing as the internet or cell phones or any of that shit. And like it was only a brief time. And like I always say to my kids, you know, I remember when I couldn't carry my phone in the pocket and it was on the wall, and you used to get to be satisfied when you hung up on somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and my kids are like, you're whatever, Mom, you're fucked. Like, you're nuts. There's no, you know, like, because they never saw it growing up without the internet or pull a phone out of your pocket, you know?
Yeah.
So
I had a
just
real quick thing about the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Fucking Donna and Rose and fucking Allison, all them are watching. Little shout out. They all say, hey, fucking.
But I was talking to this young lady the other day. I said, pretend you don't have a phone in your hand. How would you show somebody that you're talking on the phone? She went like this. I was like, what? It's like this. Like, this is how you show somebody that you're on the phone. Like, call me. No, call me. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Like that? I thought it was like that.
Well, because that's how you hold a smartphone, you know?
That's how
no way.
You know who's above 30.
Even the fucking signs changed.
Yes, man. I couldn't believe it. I read it somewhere and I said, okay, I got to try it. And it happened.
Fact check this, right?
Fact
so
check.
when I call my favorite restaurant here, we have this place called Zappy's Pizza. It's been around for 40 years. It's the best fucking pizza in town. And wings. They have chicken wing pizza. Amazing. Nice. But anyway, I'll call there. And anywhere really I call. Like, I mean, okay, maybe I'm assuming when I hear their voice, but anywhere I call, when I'm like, this is my address and this is the number, and I'll go pound, blah, blah, blah. And if you're under 30, hashtag, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Call it an octothorpe if you really want to get them.
Ooh. Yeah, right.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, see, I don't know, language, they don't promote language like they used to. There's a lot of fun words out there that a lot of people don't use anymore.
Oh, yeah. Onomatopoeia. Might be the best word in the English language.
Yeah. Audiodidact is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I couldn't believe you just said that, TJ.
I know. I had to look up and everything. Think about it while I was saying that. That's a hard word to say, man. I can't believe I can say that.
I can't believe it. We got it recorded live, too.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Roxanne's watching. Their band's on the show.
Nice.
Can I remember this name? I can't on the spot. It sucks. Trouble or Midnight.
Because you know she's watching you.
I don't know, man. I'll give them a shout out in a minute. I gotta look it up. Fact check that, right?
Oh! Hang on. We got another one backstage.
Oh, here we are.
Hey, guys.
Like, we're just live, so you're just jumping in live. I'm sorry.
That's all good. That's how I do things. You don't need to prepare for anything.
Man.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us again tonight.
Yeah.
Here we are. And who do we have now? Introduce yourself.
What's been going on? I'm Max. I play drums.
Oh, you're okay. Right on. Hi, I'm Amanda.
Pretty much all I do.
TJ.
I make
Nice. I'm sitting at a drum kit right now doing this interview, actually.
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Hey, that's the proper way to do it. I wish I had this beautiful background like you guys got, man. Like, look at how staged everything looks. I got a blank wall.
I know. Same
it's a new house.
Sliding glass doors.
Yeah, we can't.
Actually, the girls and I did it.
That's badass. I like it.
Thank you. We don't half-ass things around this house. I homeschool, so.
Since you're here, I'll throw you right in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Like, who were your idols growing up playing drums? Like, it's so hard to find a good drummer and someone that plays drums and commits to it. Who was there for you, right?
So that's a fun story. So I'm not a drummer by trade. I actually started out playing piano, when I was 5. In grade school, I picked up the saxophone. My parents would not let me anywhere near a drum set until I turned 21. So I played pretty much every instrument. Every other instrument, it was just like, oh no, you don't want to do this. You want to play saxophone. I played French horn. I played trombone, clarinet. My senior year of high school, I ended up playing in the percussion section and sort of getting into drums. My band director was a phenomenal drummer. His name was Scott Sincata. The guy was unbelievable. I mean, he truly showed you that every part of your being is, can make a sound. He used to wear these rubber-heeled shoes, and he would kick a gong behind him while he was drumming. He'd be sitting there, he'd be playing all these drums and everything, and then like pick up this tambourine, shake it, and then you hear the gong go off. And like, man, how the hell did you hit that gong? Nice. So he kind of got me into all of that and everything, and then we go through it. So you start looking at the idols. Okay, who are your top guys? You got Buddy Rich doing his thing. You got Neil Peart doing everything. My dad was a big metalhead in the 80s, so he was showing me all these stuff that got him into music from the guys that he listened to and who got them into music. So I got introduced to guys like Terry Bozzio with that monster kit that he had. Which is just insane to get the explanation of it. I got to meet him for a couple times, Jojo Mayer. Then you start going through some of the other, the notables. My snare drum is a Chad Smith signature snare drum, and I love the way it sounds. So I went, okay, now I got to listen to him, see what he's doing and everything. Then you got all that, which means then I have to also say possibly Will Ferrell, right? Because they're probably the same person. So I mean, there's definitely all over the board. I definitely I don't think he is, but they definitely are somehow related.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm just doing some.
That was awesome.
That's a great fucking Now, with you playing your guitar, you also mentioned you like B.B. King and then the blues and all that. Like, who would have been the ultimate dude you would have been like to want to play on stage with? Obviously, most of these guys are dead now that you were talking about, right? But like,
no rules.
Dead?
Never dead.
Probably Stevie Ray Vaughan. Definitely Stevie Ray Vaughan if it's dead or alive. Yeah.
No rules.
I remember
around here.
The first time I heard it was the Texas Flood album. I was probably 7, and we were going rummage sailing. Me, my dad, and my sister. We were in his beat up Ford Explorer, and put the cassette tape in, and I just heard, I was like, what is that? What is this? I got goosebumps. And then from there, it's just like, well, this guy learned to play because of this guy. This guy does this thing because of that guy. And had I paid attention to it at a younger age, I don't know where I'd be now. If I would have went the music route, I'd probably be standing on a street corner, begging for money. But
yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Actually, I'm at the height of my career.
But yeah, even if I could just stand on stage with Stevie Ray Vaughan and be like,
Right.
I'd be fine with that. Just to
Just
be in the
do
presence.
that, yeah. 100%, man. Mine would have been Robbie Krieger and the Doors, man. Like, Jim Morris was huge for me, especially when I was fucking, like, really needed music to get me through some hard times. It was always the Doors, whether it was a song that just popped on the radio at that time or I seeked it out, put on their vinyl, and just, that would have been mint, man. I did get to see him, though, live in 99 at Woodstock 99. Robbie Krieger come out on stage with Creed,
nice.
of all people, and did a fucking Doors tribute, right? Like, it was fucking pretty awesome, man.
Oh, I'm going to throw another one of you in with no warning whatsoever.
All right.
Bam!
Here
Into
we
the party
go,
I
baby.
go.
Yeah.
Live on the
we're already
air.
mid-party. Introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
What's up? I'm Jeremy.
Right on.
Hey,
And
boss.
what do you do?
That's what I got. Sorry.
That's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, that's all I do too. So.
Yeah.
What I miss? Anybody get naked yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm about to, though. But the shades are coming on.
All right, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Private
All
show.
right, man. If that happens, I'll head backstage.
Yeah, right. Run the show from behind.
We'll leave you up here on your own live. We'll head backstage. So, Jeremy, what do you do?
What's that?
I said, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
That's a rough question. You mean like
I
in
know.
my free time or when I'm
Give us your
hanging out with-
music history. Like,
As part of the
How did
band,
you
who
end up-
are you and what do you do and how did you end up here? We know
well,
who
I
you
was walking.
are.
Funny story about that. Max found me at a truck stop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, working for tips, and he said, "You want to get in the car for free tacos?" And I said, "Yeah." And the next thing you know, I'm fucking banned, so.
all over that.
Yeah, it's strange how life sends you something,
Well, listen, I take free
Yeah.
tacos over free candy any day. So,
Right? He knew what it was going to take to get me in the car.
yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
No, I've had history with
A
Max
lot of
for-
captain.
Yeah, a lot of captain, lots of captain. Max and I had some history. We were in a band for 4 years before this, and we kind of went our separate ways for a little bit. And I got into different, couple different projects, and then a spot opened up in this place in with Stanley, and so I hopped in with them, and away we go.
but here we are.
Here you are now, eh?
Yeah, here we
Right
are.
on. Yeah, I just turned
No,
my
that's
light up
mid,
on my
man.
phone. I can
Fucking-
see you guys.
Yeah, right. So, like, once now that you guys are opening up and the world's kind of fucking blossoming open again, what are your plans? Are you guys planning on like a little local tour, or you guys just gonna fucking just drive around and tour the world, or what? What's
Well,
going
I
on?
heard we were going to get to do I heard we were going to get to do the new dollar store opening, but that's big
Oh,
time right there.
That's huge,
so,
bud. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
rest of us weddings, though.
Right. Free balloons for all the kids. Come.
Right.
No weddings.
No,
No.
weddings, he says
I don't know,
already.
man. I've been to some fucking dynamite weddings with some pretty good metal bands and shit on stage.
Well, that
Like-
might be our loophole for our thing, because my buddy
I
wants to
know.
get married. And if we throw it as a wedding, we could get around all the permits that we're not allowed to have technically. So
It's
we're
true. You
working
make it
on right.
You make it BYOB. You can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, like we play with we play well with the bylaws here, but like well within the bylaws here. So we're playing by the rules. They're just bent a little.
Yeah, we don't have any major plans. All of us
Just
have
kinda-
careers and families, and I don't think we're trying to make a career out of this. Obviously, if something happens and we have an opportunity, we're going to have to sit down and evaluate that. But our goal really is to just put on a good show and scare everybody that has to play after us.
Yeah,
So,
you can't get better music
Awesome.
than that, though. You're actually there because you love to just jam together. Like
Yeah.
you're not trying to become the next big Metallica or fucking Megadeth and or Slayer, right? Like you're just out there to make it sound good and put on a good show for the people that come out, right? Like,
I don't know. I wouldn't mind making a career out of it. I mean, we all hate our jobs, and we all do have families, but
I knew one of them was
playing every night
eventually
for,
going to come out and say it.
for some good money. So I mean, it's always the dream. But
yeah, if it happens, awesome.
Yeah,
But
so
never
I
going to
agree with
argue with the cash, right? But
No.
cash
I
is
think one of the
king,
coolest things would be if, a bigger band is going on tour and they're doing a few dates, say in Wisconsin and Illinois, and they say, we want you to open for us those nights. Heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Because that opens doors to other things. And I mean, I wouldn't mind retiring early from emergency medicine.
Well,
Right?
yeah.
But I'm not putting all my
hear you
eggs in
there.
that basket,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely say that I've been in this industry alone, just in the music industry by itself, for 2 years, and did really well. And then all this COVID stuff hit, and all of a sudden, I had no jobs. Not just 2 jobs, well, 3 or 4 jobs if you really broke down what I do. But I had no jobs when this hit, and it's difficult to it's kind of difficult to determine whether or not you should take that leap. Not now after everything has happened, but I certainly am still trying as hard as I can just in this industry. I do have hope for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like there. Now, what have your venues been like? When you guys shut down, how long did you guys shut down for? And what was the effect for your music industry like?
You're in here until the interview's over, but this fucking
well,
dog.
honestly, right now, most of our venues are still shut down. They're not booking bands until June, July, just to be safe.
Right.
We have one venue that they're going to start doing things in, I think, late April. But yeah, for the most part, it's still, I mean, there's still some local clubs that do live shows and things, but as far as big venues around here, there's nothing really starting until the next couple of months. So it's been hard. There's been no live music. I honestly got through with a bunch of bands that I know were doing Facebook live shows.
Yeah.
And Friday and Saturday nights, you'd sit and get drunk in your living room and watch them. And, at least it was something,
Yeah.
but
Something, yeah. You got to have live music. Like, that was most of my life up until this pandemic and stuff. It was like traveling and doing shows. Like, I work construction, so we'll work in 4 days, we'll work 60, 70 hours, and then I take a few days off, and then that's when my concert time come in, right? All out disappeared. Now I'm just working. I'm like, I need some other place to go and get out of just working. And then that's when I started focusing here. And then we met, and it's like, fuck. Like,
it's difficult because we here, by the time all is said and done, we're looking at 90% of our venues shut down. Yeah. So, and I'd say probably a good 60 to 70% of the bands, we'll say from me to DJ, which is 3 hours worth of ground to cover. We've lost a good 70% of our bands. Now, a lot of them are still going, but a lot of them have they've given up because, we're going on a year now. So, and I don't know about you guys, but here, there's no end date, not right now anyway. So they're talking to all kinds of stuff. So It's nice to hear
Yeah.
that even though venues are shutting down, there's still venues that are getting ready to open back up in the next couple of months. And at like full capacity, you were saying, or at least regular capacity.
The smaller ones.
Yeah.
I mean, from the shows that I've not seen, but I see pictures and stuff.
Yep.
The places are more full than they should be for the regulations, but
really, we're all adults. You can make your own decisions. I always thought,
that's kind of how I feel.
Wait, we're adults. When did that happen?
I know,
Seriously,
just yesterday for me.
Thanks
Like,
for your fucking time, TJ,
right?
adults. Jesus.
12 years ago,
I made
man.
my decision yesterday.
I guess I'm a 38-year-old adult then, or 38-year-old child.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what?
grown up sports, I hear.
Grown up.
Well, I don't know.
That was a funny movie with
of,
Tom Hanks, though.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I have a lot of opinions that differ from a lot of other people's opinions, but the one thing that I say, at this point, if you're sick or you're scared, and I say this after 3 heart attacks and a blood disorder, if you're sick or scared, stay home, and if you're well, then go and live your life and work and do what you have to do. I mean, we're at some point in our lives, we're all going to end up dying, so why not put the energy into living instead of putting the energy into not dying?
Oh, exactly. It's unbelievable about the amount of fear that's been put into people, and well, how do you get through it? What do you mean? I'm still doing me. We got together and we played music.
Mm-hmm.
May not have been out, but we were still playing.
Yep.
Doing what we love.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we couldn't do it for people.
Yep.
But it was still something, at least to be able to play. Plus, besides going out to the bar, man, I saved so much money this year. It's unbelievable.
I've been sober for 13 years, and I saved money not going to the bar.
Yeah.
But I can say, like I was saying earlier, I'm a music biographer, so I do writing. I throw shows here and there when I publish books and stuff. And I also do bartending and stuff. So, and bar management and stuff. So,
kick its ass.
I didn't, even though I had a few different jobs, I had nothing to fall back on because it was all in the industry. Now, that's how TJ and I ended up doing what we're doing. So we're still going, but it hasn't been easy, and we've had to be very creative.
So,
well,
which is how we ended
with
up
that,
here.
we know that. We know tons of friends and everything. Just the turnover and the people as these venues start to book again. We're reaching out to the people that we know, and I don't work there anymore. What do you mean you don't work there? Who's in charge? Well, you got to talk with the big guy. And
Yeah.
So it's been a struggle across the board for everybody. And especially when it comes to booking. We spent the last 5 years building up contacts and everything, and hey, how many of those people are not doing it anymore because they
It's so true though.
Yeah, here it's
like even here.
Sorry, go ahead, TJ.
Like trying to get even here trying to just set up a local little party for like my buddies that play in the local little punk band. Just come on over, jam in my backyard. We can't even do that, It's like
right.
You can if you have a camera rolling, because that's how we figured out how to do things. The production industry never shut down here in Canada. So as long as you're documenting what you're doing,
okay.
We
I do believe if you plan on
a certain amount of people
big enough show here, right? You could just say that it's a protest, right? And for a big enough show.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here we can peacefully assemble. We can't gather. So we're looking at ways for peacefully assembling. I actually have a good idea that I'll mention to you guys backstage. We actually have a good idea about doing a documentary set in 2019.
Okay.
so
Okay.
that we
Sounds
can,
interesting.
you know what I mean? So that we can get away
Yeah.
with some normalcy while filming and producing. So yeah, so like we've really gotten creative with this, and I've got a friend who literally spends her days learning the Canadian laws and the Charter of Rights and stuff like that. So we've been able to figure out how to operate completely legal and still have our shows and people, you know, in-house
Kind of.
and stuff like that. Well,
As far as we
well,
go, yeah.
you can make it here, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's some restrictions, but we found a way to get not around them. We're legally doing these things.
Yep. That's right. I'm following every rule perfectly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think our government counted on people like us to do these things. Like, I don't know how much Canadian controversy you hear, but we actually
They don't hear
had
nothing in the States.
No way.
Like,
we actually had a
definitely
couple.
get way more American like news and broadcasts and
for
stuff
sure,
from the
for
States than
I'm sorry for
you guys here of Canada. Right?
We had a woman here who kept her salon running, and what she did was she put cameras up, and then she charged people to audition for her documentary on how she was staying out during the pandemic.
What a
I
legend.
love it.
What a legend.
Yeah,
That's such a Canadian thing to do.
right?
Why
She
not?
followed every rule. She followed every bylaw. Our government's trying to shut her right the fuck down, and she just keeps fucking fighting, man. Like, the federal government is going to shut her down, and she's like, nope, fuck you. I'm within the rules. I'm within the laws. You can't shut me down. And she is.
Yeah, you made the rules. I'm just following them.
Yeah,
that's right. So
Exactly,
TJ and I did when it came to being able to film inside the house and stuff like that. Like, we're not allowed to have like gatherings and parties and stuff like that, but like we can assemble for productions. So like when we have musician friends that we know that, you know, didn't get to celebrate we get to throw birthday parties on the show because technically we're filming. Right. So like, I mean, we've on how to stay alive during a pandemic. So, you know I see you laughing at me. But like, I mean, we all have to figure out what it is to get us through these things, you know, because even though a lot of us have other careers, you know, do things I say on the side because I know that music is love and passion versus, you know, anything else. But it's really hard with it not in our lives, I think, you know. Like, I don't know if it makes a difference for you guys at all doing your daily things and then not being able to practice or get on a stage or whatever. But on
That's a good question.
turn of the coin, though, how has all of this helped you guys as a band? That was a really long run into that question.
Perfect to what we were talking about, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it helped us as a band. I mean, it hasn't deterred us much together. It has, I guess, given us the time to put everything together the way we want it to and not be rushed. Like, hey, we got to do this. We got to get out. We got to get play. You know, hey, this show's coming up. We got to prepare for that. We're doing all this, all that. It's kind of given us the time to, hey, here's the song. Let's work on it. Let's create it to what we exactly want it to be instead of just, hey, we got this show coming up in a week. I wrote this new song. Let's play it then. You know, so the timeline has sort of expanded, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it gave you a little more time to perfect everything that you want to do on stage, you know, like tweak it.
Right.
It's a lot more relaxed.
Well, and especially since we are, you know, since me and Jeremy have played together before, it's kind of, this is a lot different than what we did the first time around. So I think everybody, come on, when are you going to show us? You're going to show us? When are you going to do this? So we kind of have that little bit, you know, we're dead in front of everybody like, hey, come on, are you ready? No, we're not going to show you yet. So it's definitely been a little bit of extra fun to torture some of, at least the guys I talk with, you know, about, well, what are you guys doing?
Right.
Don't worry about it. We got this.
Oh no, I'd say at least
Yeah.
once a week. I'd say at least once a week I get a call from a friend like, when are we going to hear this? When are we going to hear stuff from you guys? And we posted one song from a practice, and people were like, okay, now we need more. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, give us time. We're working on it. So
Yeah, it's kind of
That's like putting it. Oh, go ahead.
these two guys, they're, again, I'll say it, without them I would be just another guy with a guitar. But I have never had the desire, I guess, to be able to play super fast and super clean, just super organic, let it happen. I know where the notes are, do that stuff. And within all that and how we all jive together and how the playing goes, it's just, I don't know, it's special. It may not be special to somebody else, but to me, to have the opportunity to play with these guys, and like, I didn't know you could get goosebumps playing your own music. I think it was the first practice we played. We played Johnny Be Good, which is a cover.
No way, man.
Everybody plays
That's
Johnny Be Good. And I looked at Max, I said, like, we've never played it like that, So, but yeah, COVID's helped
Almost leaves
a
me
lot of people.
speechless. Yeah, that's fucking good. Right? Like, gets you right here when you say stuff like that, like.
well,
Okay, sorry. Go
as
ahead.
somebody who's my happy place is in a concert setting, either on the stage or in the audience. That's where I love to be. I go to, I don't know, 100, 200 shows a year, just friends and big bands. And when it hit, that took a lot away from me, because that's how I do look at things when I work a 72-hour week, knowing that the next day or two, I'm going to go to a show and I'm going to be able to relax and sing and have a good time with people. That's why I work, because I'm like, this is what I'm working towards. And then it's gone. And I was like, shit. And I wouldn't say it was depression, but at the same time, I mean, I still have tickets for shows that, for next year that are being moved up a year. And then I've got a couple that got canceled that, I still have the tickets for that. I'm like, I just want to hold on to them because just nostalgia, I mean, I was just talking about it today with a friend that I got tickets for Blues Traveler for March 19th of last year. And that show was supposed to happen until the night before. I was literally packed up, ready to go to Memphis to see the show. And that night they said, nope, we're not going to do the show tomorrow. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I've been looking forward to this. It's like the last show that's going to happen before the shutdown. And it was like one day too late, and I think that put at least a little strain on my life, because music is a big part of my life. And it almost took it away. And so, I mean, I turned to podcasts and, like I said, Facebook Live, and a lot of practicing at home and listening to music. And it helps, but it's not the setting that I like, the socialness of it. Granted, I don't necessarily want to be next to 700 people all sweating, touching each other, which I'm normally fine with. But right now, maybe,
I don't mind being
a couple feet away from each other be fine,
I might risk it at this point.
What's that?
I said I might risk it at this point.
Yeah, as somebody who's had this, unfortunately, I got it twice, so I can tell you that you can come back from it, and it's bad, but it's not like, I mean, I would feel horrible if somebody older had a condition and that took them down. That was why I did what I did to self-preserve other people. Not really, I wasn't worried about myself.
Well, I can say this on a strange note. Both my grandmother, who's 94 years old, and my aunt, who's 86 years old, one has lung cancer, and tuberculosis, and the other one has COPD. And both of them tested positive, and neither of them had symptoms. So it's kind of crazy.
Right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy how it's picking and choosing, and it's unfortunate when it picks people a little harder than it picks other people. I was never tested. I got sick last New Year's, pretty bad. I was in bed for 3 days, and then for 3 weeks I had a nasty cough. So I don't know if I did or didn't have it, but since then I haven't been sick again. And if it was what I had, it hit me pretty hard, and I do have underlying issues, and it hit me pretty hard. I did obviously recover from it if that's what it was, but it was pretty rough. So
I just got back from a world tour, and then drove to Montreal a week after I got back from my world tour, and then the world lockdown. Like, it was like, ooh, I better start calling some people. How you feeling? How you feeling, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to be patient zero for nobody. You know what I mean? But on the same hand, my life is in a crowd, looking at the stage or being on stage. Like, it's hard to
yeah,
let that all go. Right?
Absolutely, it's part of you, and that's what I mean. I was saying I look forward to concerts and playing for people, and you take that aspect out of your life, and you're like, man, it's a huge chunk of who you are.
yeah, yeah.
And I've met so many people through shows and going to shows that it just took a big hit, and now. You keep up tabs with everybody with Facebook, but it's not the same as meeting 10, 15 people at a show and enjoying the show together and having that experience.
Yeah. Now, that being said, what was the last show you guys all attended?
Ooh. Oh.
Last show I saw was Candlebox.
Nice.
No way.
I love them.
Yeah. Candlebox,
Nice.
and then before that I saw Yngwie Malmsteen.
Mm-hmm. That was an upsetting show that I was working.
Yeah. Billy
I got
Joel.
What about
to
you guys? What were your last shows?
I got to see Primus, and then a week later I got to see Tool. And
I still have Primus tickets.
And then
what's funny?
It was
go ahead.
Like I said,
yeah.
The next week was supposed to be Memphis for Blues Traveler, and then it all shut down. So
yeah,
mine was I went and seen Tool, and then drove to I think it was New York or somewhere around there to see Primus the day after.
awesome. I still have my Primus tickets. And what about you? Oh, hang on, this way. What about you?
You
went to. I'll figure this shit out.
Yeah, right. I actually was not big on the bigger bands. I stayed pretty local for most of the stuff. Not being able to get away from stuff. I think the last one I saw was one of our Milwaukee bands, Conniption. I went and saw those guys. Play. They got a new bass player, and his name was. What was his name? Played for a band called Mercy Isle, and I was blown away because we played shows with those guys. We played tons of shows with those guys, and to watch them, to replace their bass player who was unbelievable with another unbelievable bass player is like, you guys just like, hey, pick this guy here and tossed him in there. So, but it was, it was a fun show because it was all the local people that we've known over the last couple of years. Get out and see them. It was kind of the last. Hey, I saw everybody, and now it's like, okay. I mean, somebody had to come pick me up from the show. That's all I remember. 'Cause I didn't drive home.
Nice.
No, I gotta correct myself. It's Late Night Trouble coming to you from out of Montreal. That's Roxanne who said hi earlier. I couldn't remember the fucking band name for some reason. Just to put that out there, it's Late Night Trouble.
That was like a half an hour ago.
I know. It took me a bit to fucking finally come to me, right? But scatterbrain, so.
Oh yeah, such is life sometimes. So where can we find your music, guys, and like your merchandise and all that fun stuff?
Yeah.
No. We got some stuff up on YouTube.
Okay.
You can just search Midnight Crow or Midnight Crow Music.
she'll grab the links and add them to the show. Like once we're all done, we'll re-edit the title, put your links in and all that.
Yeah. And then we do have a SoundCloud. Like I said earlier,
That's our
it's pretty light,
infomercial right there.
but there will be more coming, hopefully soon. You know, that's always the goal. But we also don't want to release something that's not where we want it to be.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's a very. I think we're all on the same page with where we want the recordings to be quality, but we also want them to have that live kind of feeling. But we want it to be factual live. You know, there's bands that say, "Oh yeah, we record these albums so they feel like a live performance," and you hear a guitar track and then you hear a solo being played over it. It's like you have one guitar player. You can't do that live. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
no.
But you know, that comes with you got to figure out how to do it right. Because we could easily put everything that we've recorded on cell phones and just for rehearsals out to the world and say, here's our music. But then that's, you know, not that there's anything wrong with mistakes or forgetting a word or a whole verse, but that's not, you know, what we want to put out there. We want to put out quality stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to leave like the
that's
kind of stuff
excellent
for, like,
to hear, man.
after you guys have got the quality stuff. That's when you want to lay that
blooper
stuff.
reels.
Well, another answer.
Right.
An answer to your question is, I'm pretty sure that in the next couple of weeks we're kind of working out what everybody's aspect is to contribute to the band, and so I'm pretty sure that the online presence, as far as like a website, Facebook page, things like that, will start getting out there.
Rocking.
Right. Fairly quickly, we have a Facebook page and we have a
Instagram.
Yeah, we have an Instagram. We have a website, but it's under construction, so we need to finish kind of adding stuff to it and getting that set up, and then people can find us on those as well.
Those terms, perfect, man. Because definitely we want to get your music out there. I was a fan. That's why I reached out to you guys. Hey, really like your shit, man. I run a podcast. Come on the show, you know. Fucking, let's talk. Fucking, thank you so much for being on tonight, man. That was a fucking honor. Sorry you guys were working today. I actually had the day off, so I know you guys had to work a bit late. So.
Hey, man, that's part of the grind of it, you know. You got to work to be able to support, you know, your hobbies. So, and the fact of the matter is, with everything going on, you know, we need that work to build up the capita to be able to do what we love doing. So,
right. There's been too many times I've actually witnessed Max work till the last minute and then drive an hour and a half to do a show and get there, you know, 30, 40 minutes before we play, pull all his drums out of the car, set them up, and just go. So, I mean, we're kind of used to that as far as Max and I work until the very last minute and then, I have to leave now or I'm not going to make it kind of thing. But
I mean, I used to run on stage right before, hey, we're in the middle of sound check. Where's your drummer? Hey, I'm here. Okay, yeah. All right, good. All right, let's play. You know, so I mean, it's just.
I've seen a few of those.
It's part of what it is. It's something that, you know, the aspects people don't think of. You know, we learned how to get on and off stage quick. How to streamline that process. So here you go. All right, we're good. You know, just because of those instances where we have it. I mean, I keep thinking as I'm thinking about it, the number of times that I came to shows where it's just, here we are. You know, I mean, I had other people set my drums up and I've walked on stage and went, you know, what the hell is this? This doesn't go here. I guess I'm playing
and sat down and played anyway.
You know, so but it's just, you know, you got to appreciate the guys that helped out. You know, I know Jeremy helped move a lot of drums then. My dad was always there. He'd set stuff up, you know, and it was just kind of you got to appreciate the people you got around you because not everybody has that, you know. So without them, those shows wouldn't have worked.
There's definitely a lot of support in this industry. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Well, to an extent, but the people that do support you 100%. And that's where that's what keeps
yeah.
you going. You know, it's that one person that's like, hey,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, right? Like
That one fan.
even
one-
today, we just got a shout out from. I got a shout out to In Vale out of Toronto, which I've been kind of he's with and working with them and stuff, and then they just finally got signed to a real label, or not like real label, but they finally got a deal they were looking for and shit, right?
Yeah.
We have to get
nice.
a shout out on the
Congrats to those guys
for helping the music out.
Yeah. So like, who else have you guys play with? Like, who do you want to give a shout out to? The local musicians that are kicking around with you guys that should be known, that we should be checking out here in Canada.
Well, so like I said before, Connection those guys are a good group of guys. They're definitely, Bill House is a phenomenal. Andy Martin is a crazy Jesus looking drummer. Seriously, would check him out and you'll see that, wow, yeah, he actually went as Jesus for one Halloween. But there's singer Michael has got an unbelievable voice. I watched them release a CD and they did like 2.5 hours straight. I was blown away by that. That is a long time with a break. Without a break, like, wow, you guys played every song. So those guys come to mind. Our buddy Steven Lesko and the guys in Amberstein, or Hamster Cage, depending on what point you were with Jeremy.
That's the secret. That's a secret name right there. That's a secret.
Yeah. But those
Your
guys,
secret's safe with us.
We've played a bunch of shows back with those guys. Jake is a phenomenal singer. Steven Lesko he's a machine on a guitar, man. I've known him for years, well before he was playing in this band, and it's just, those guys, without a doubt, every time we try to do something, they're like, hey man, what are you guys doing? Let's see this. Yeah. Even the guys that were in Amberstein that have left the band are still talk with, they're supporting us still, and Jason, those guys always come to mind. Definitely check those two bands. The one that I can truly think of that I love is Wicked Realm. Is from here. Tom McCartan is magical on bass. He filled in with one of our old band when Jeremy had to go on vacation, and he was just overall good dude, and they had a unique sound.
Nice.
So guys, hope you're all staying safe. We miss you, but those are the guys that I definitely need to call, and I'm sure I'll get. What the hell, man? You didn't call me out.
No, right?
Well, I would throw
but those are the guys.
The other night.
I would throw out Thrasher as well, just because they're a hell of a group of guys. We have some friends, group called Elysium. They are amazing.
Oh man, they're gonna be
they
so pissed. I
have
forgot
supported
about
us. They have supported us, and we have supported them. And they're three amazing guys that put on a hell of a show, and they're really, really down to earth, good guys. And it's been a privilege to know those guys. Those are the two that come to my mind right off the bat. That I would say, if you guys check them out, you're gonna be blown away and be like, "Wow, all right, that's."
Wow. Right after this, I'm on it, man. That's what I do, right? So
DJ's on every band that gets mentioned. So I'm sure I will get a link to some of that music before the night is out. Definitely.
Yeah, Elysium even had that great story they would tell about that show they played down in Texas, and their bass player started playing a Tool song and didn't know the rest of it. They were like, we almost died in Texas that one time. And they'd tell it every show. It was like, this is fantastic. I love this story.
Well, they're on the list now. They're up here. I got them locked down. I'll be checking them out, right? Oh,
right on.
We got the album right there, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their newest
It might
one.
even be on my playlist already.
That's it's a hell of an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys get around and have been around more than me. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in coffee shops and open mic nights and writing songs to impress my wife. And a lot of the bands that I know, tribute bands, cover bands, original bands, they all have something special to offer.
Mhm.
One of my good friends, his name's Nick. He's in a band called the Nix, Nix. His wife is the lead singer, and they do some of the best covers of like 70s, 80s rock songs. He's a phenomenal
Nice.
guitar player. He actually has some pictures on his Facebook that you can see when he was trying to be a rock star.
I'm pointing at people if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Wisconsin, it seems like you're good at one thing, and it's either like music, bowling, darts, or pool. It's all the stuff you can do during the cold months.
Mhm.
And
Welcome to Canada.
if you get lucky, you're good at all of them,
Right.
but not great at any one of them. And that's where I am, I feel.
Yeah.
Like good at bowling, good at
here.
pool, good at darts, good at music.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of none. But and then the only other person I can really think of off the top of my head, and he used to be like a road dog. His name's Owen Brand. His name's actually Chad, but he goes by Owen. And he's played guitar in so many bands in Nashville. He's one of those guys that can play anything. He could be a studio musician. And now he just like sets up his camera, plays a cover of a song, changes some funny words. And I don't know, hopefully sometime down the road when his kids are grown and out of the house, he can get back to it. But he's something else. He's a very talented young man.
Awesome. Right on. All right. Well, on that note, is there anything else you want to tell the world before we stop telling them stuff?
For now.
I don't know.
Let's see you guys.
Wow.
Keep a lookout for Midnight Crow. We're just getting warmed up, but when it happens, we'll be out there, and hopefully we make some music to touch people, and that's what we're here for.
Appropriately, I hope.
No, and then anytime you guys get a bit of new music out, send it my way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll throw it up on the channel. Fucking, we'll get her out there,
Yeah, send me some links that I could add to the title.
Last thing, any guitar players out there, you're looking for pickups or pedals, Warp Core pickups. This is actually a signature set of pickups that's made for me. You can go to the website and buy them. It's a Stanley Gene Mendiola signature set. And Scatterbra Guitar Works. It's out of Monroe, Wisconsin. He makes some of the best pedals. And this was actually just sent to me. This is I can't really get it that close.
Yeah.
But this is a prototype of a signature overdrive for myself. And they're going to be going in production, and they'll be for sale this summer. So I think I have a video up on my page. Yeah, so people can.
Dude, we got.
Kids weren't sleeping. I'd let it rip for you, but
yeah, no, that's cool.
Really cool thing. I've had some pretty unique opportunities, and these guys are right there with me, and they support me just as much as anybody else. So
that's awesome.
You want to play a little riff before we take off, since you have your guitar in your hand and stuff?
Yeah,
or what?
we can
what do you want?
totally play it out.
What song should I play, fellas?
Launchpad
Larry?
Yeah, that sounds like a good song.
All right.
There we go. Midnight Crow, baby. Live in the BoneYard.
Those are my drum and bass.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that was
And on
awesome,
that
man.
note-
You guys
Yes,
were.
Slice?
It was an honor to have you guys on tonight, man. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
coming
us.
all the way
Yeah,
from
dude,
Wisconsin.
Stick around. Yeah, stick around for a minute.
Midnight
And we'll
Crow,
hang out
baby.
backstage.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys stay safe
Yeah,
up there in Canada, and
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah,
we
we're
don't really
trying,
get we don't get to hear about what's going on up there. All we know is the borders are closed, and that
Oh, we got some fun
Yeah.
shit
so
stories for you.
Oh yeah.